What's up, everyone? Pritch here. It is 2 o'clock in the morning for me, and they have released the game in Europe. They've also released the patch notes to go along with it. So I am going to go ahead and read through the patch notes for the first time along with you guys. And I'm streaming live on Twitch right now, so I have chat pulled up as well. Chat, you guys can say hi to YouTube if you guys want. Um, they are letting me know that the chat box is a little bit rough on the font size, so that might change in the future. That'll probably change in the future. But all this to say, guys, New World is launched. It's here. I got the name Pritch, so no matter what we're reading here, I'm super happy. this has already been a huge success. So yeah, I'm gonna go through, read everything, give my initial thoughts, my initial impressions. Obviously, I care a lot more about kind of weapon balancing, I think, than a lot of the other stuff necessarily in the game. But I've probably got about 150 to 160 hours logged between both the betas, easily 100 to 200 hours logged. So I have a decent idea of how the game was playing out and feeling, except maybe like the pure end game stuff. I think the highest I got was level like 46. Um, so yeah, without further ado, let's run it. Uh, World experience. Fix the following respawn rates for named AI. Beautiful. Because anytime they say this, they literally change the rates super quick. Like anything that got the rate change from closed beta to open beta was a beautiful change. So the fact that they're doing it with more named quest AI, fantastic. Fixed a bug causing the completion of certain side quests could block players from being able to advance the quest. Corruption encroaching. I don't know the names of the quests enough to know. I don't know what that means. But good for them. Interesting issue. Or by resetting the ritual. Again, I don't know any quest by its name, so I have no idea if this is helpful. Player would lose the heart gem needed to complete the quest. I think the heart gem was the thing that you got after the Amrine expedition. Could be wrong. Updated Barkamedes quest to address an issue where people could leave mid. Yes! I was wondering if they were gonna do that. So you could I know I literally guys, if I see any tooltip changes, that's how we know that they watch my videos. So the Barkamedes, if you guys didn't know, you could like leave in the middle of Amrine expedition and like turn in slash get new Barkamedes quests and like finish it again or something like that. It was weird. I don't know the exact details of it, but I knew there was a bug, and I'm glad that that's fixed. That was too cool to do. Unlock the main story quest after Depth's expedition. Will now take players all the way to the Shattered Mountain. Awesome. We knew that was going to happen though. Fixes and tweaks. Cool. Fix an issue within the Windsward Soul Survivor quest, where sometimes the quest would not update when approaching the Watcher. Again, I don't know. I don't know the quests by name. Hapless How animations to not play correctly. I don't remember who this is. I'm gonna be honest. It's not. It's not. I don't have that kind of memory, guys. I barely remember what the great X abilities do. Notable bug fixes. Fix multiple bugs from the AI from properly leashing or spawning in invalid areas. Good. Notable bug fixes. Fix an issue that caused players to become permanently stuck in the exhausted state. Great. That's the I'm assuming what the exhausted state is hopefully like that encumbrance state. That's my guess, is it's either the encumbrance thing, which I actually think you might be more right, Monkey, or it could be the dodge roll bug glitch thing that would happen, where like you would. I think it was on bow. It might have been on rapier. I don't remember which weapon, but like you would, or it could have been any weapon, honestly. You dodged, you would lose all your stamina, and then you literally wouldn't be able to dodge again unless you exited out of the game and came back in the game. Very glad they fixed that. Obviously, you kind of need to dodge. Is the truffle vendor at the beginning whose cart got trampled? Oh, okay. I didn't know they were having any problems with Hapless, but I know that quest. Thank you, Ninja. Appreciate you guys. Um, Speed hack prevention, cool, good. Fixing wars to get stuck in the setup phase. Never experienced that, but I'm glad that's not an issue anymore. Fixed an issue that allows players to receive PvP rewards from duels by. Wait, what? Wait, what? I did not know that was a thing. Fixed an issue that allowed players to receive PvP rewards from duels by drowning after the duel is completed. I had zero idea that that was a thing. That is super funky. Obviously a good fix. Let's go. Fix an issue that caused PvP flag to stay active in sanctuaries if the player dodge rolled across the border. Awesome. Fix an issue that caused the iced refresh perk from Ice Gauntlet to activate from the abilities other than Mighty Spike. So iced refresh was getting cooldown reduction. I think it's only like a 10% cooldown reduction. I could be wrong, but it was getting cooldown reduction when hitting something with a big spike, I believe. I had no idea there was a bug that gave cooldown reduction to other abilities when using that. Good to know. Good bug fix. PvP damage scale adjusted to lessen the... Yeah. Yeah. Literally, here's what I just heard. Here is where I just heard. PvP damage scale adjusted to lessen the gap between high, low level players. Okay. I just heard, guys, our system is somewhere between closed beta and open beta. And I'm all for that. Great call. Thank you. For those that didn't know, basically, if you had a 2 to 3 level lead in open beta, you were at a 20 to 30%, like you were at a fat advantage, like a huge advantage in any fight. All right. Now the gap is less so, which is good because I'd rather it be more skill based. I'm cool with the advantage part. I just don't want it to be a freaking huge advantage. I don't want to 3-shot somebody because I'm 3 levels higher than them. Economy progression towards rewards, notable bug fixes, fix an issue that allowed players to use the item hotbar to duplicate items. Great, I don't like duplicating. Fix an issue that caused T4, T5 Azoth stabs to be unavailable. Didn't know that was the thing. Glad they're available. Fix an exploit where a war declaration mechanic could be used to duplicate coin. Awesome. Thank you for getting rid of that. Fixed an issue that caused the player's PvP reward value did not reset if they respawned at a camp. I was so curious what was happening. So in open beta, like I thought they had some mechanic where if you were a part of a big war going on in the open world, like a fort war kind of thing, right? And you kept respawning in, like me and 7 of my buddies would go and fight 15 greens or 20 greens, right? And I would keep killing the same greens over and over again, kind of thing. But I kept getting experience for it. And I thought it was like some mechanic where if there's like an outnumbered or they're like in a big party or something or you're around a fort, maybe I was like, maybe then they constantly give you XP. But maybe it was just a bug. So I'm going to be really interested to see if I get that same experience again and I wind up killing the same people over and over again, because it's a part of a bigger war going on for an area. If I get XP from that. I don't. This shouldn't. Ooh. That's a good question. Did you get individual XP in wars, or did you only get a big chunk of XP at the end of the war? I actually don't know the answer to that. That's a good. We're gonna have to keep our eye on that. I like where your head's at, though.
Breakthrough. Stand on these souls with my breakthroughs. We got some issues, him and some issues.
Blute. Thank you so much for that sub with your Prime. I appreciate that. Welcome to the family. All right. What else do we have? Adjusted the recall function in the game menu to enable players to recall to the watchtower of the beach they started at. After binding to an inn, the recall function will return players to the inn. Oh, so they're basically letting you just have a free recall, and I guess you couldn't recall. That kind of sucks. Okay, I like that change. That's a nice little like beginner friendly change for people. All right, UX UI social streamer mode. We added a new streamer mode that allows streamers and players to hide notifications and avoid interactions with other players to avoid the overall. Psh, I like my I like my notifications. Freaking make me happy. But that's cool. That's cool. They're like kind of helping streamers out. Players can turn on streamer mode in the following way: busy, social tab. Cool. It's probably not going to affect most of you guys. Polish and New World editions. Reduce the number of days a governor has to be absent before a console automatically replaces from 30 to 15 days. All right, so basically, if you're a governor and you want to take a more than 2 week vacation, you're getting screwed. Yo, thank you, Sploot. I appreciate that, my man. um, VoIP is now disabled for the first 3 hours after character creation to limit poor voice behavior. Huh. Is voice is just the in-game audio, right? So basically like new players all loading into the same zone can't talk to each other? Is that what that means? If somebody can let me know like in the comments what exactly was VoIP, because is that just like the in-game voice audio thing? Cause that actually might kind of suck. I'm not gonna lie. I get it though, right? Because otherwise you could have people just spamming annoying things in the new area where everyone's loading in. So I get it. I get it. Like I'm not mad about it. Uh, yeah, exactly. You can't use VoIP. Okay, that's okay. Perfect. My head's in the right place. All right. Wait. Hold on. Is this it? Is, there's no way, right? Is, what's up, player? I did, homie. I did get Pritch. Is this the entire patch notes? Did they not touch weapons? What? Am I crazy? Is there a different section that like it see how it says 1 out of 4 here? Is there what? This is it? You guys had like 3 weeks. I'm sure there's some slight ninja stuff. They aren't gonna put we fired the tooltip guy. So Jerry's been let go. And then it just says on the next, thanks, Pritch. Okay. Can I be real with you guys, right? I started making these guides after closed beta, and for the most part, right, from closed beta to open beta, they really didn't change much. Job offer might be there. They really didn't change much. Um, and my thing was just frankly, some of these tooltips literally have spelling errors in them or bad English kind of thing, where it's like, hey, you don't need to necessarily like go through each one and make sure each one is like perfect and perfectly matches what the ability does and like that kind of stuff, right? But like, dude, that would take maybe like an hour and a half, 2 hours to just like spell check tooltips. Right? Like that's what I'm saying, man. Like come on. Like nothing in there like, hey, we updated the tooltips. Like even like you don't even have to say everything you did. Just like put it under bug fixes or something or polish. Just be like updated tooltips. Like that would literally put them in the clear and I would have to recheck every tooltip, right? But oh my gosh. I haven't read the notable bug fixes. Fix an exploit that allowed players to take PvP missions without being flagged Did not know that existed. Glad that's not in the game. Fixed an exploit that allowed companies to be able to repeatedly declare war during invasion lockout period, but before invasion was scheduled to duplicate coin. I did not know about this duplicate coin bug. Looks like they're on top of that one. Why the frick aren't they on top of their tooltips? No, I mean, I'm glad they're on top of the duplication stuff. I'm in shock. They didn't touch weapons. There's literally not a single weapon thing was touched except a one bug, one on Ice Gauntlet. What? I also don't even think that was a big bug when, like, compared to the other. You got Incinerate doing literally double the damage. Double the damage the tooltip says, and this, they're like, nah, let's hard focus the Ice Gauntlet. It's giving 10% cooldown reduction when it shouldn't. I mean, I mean, okay. Overall, I'm actually really happy with the state of weapons going into launch. I truly, and I said that before, I've said it in podcasts, I'm actually really, really happy with the state of weapons going into New World. I think there's a ton of very viable, awesome weapons that can be spec'd out to do really amazing in basically every game mode. What I personally am taking away from the fact they haven't touched any of this stuff is I think at the very end game, when everyone is level 60, in a 1v1 duel, Paladin builds are way too broken. Way, way, way too broken. And you can literally, if you play the build well, you can just stand in your healing auras and you will not die. And there's nothing nobody's going to be able to do about it. The best counter to that is a infected hatchet throw, which gives 30% disease, which is the only ability in the game that's going to cut healing. But life staff users have a free Condi cleanse on their heavy attacks. So any competent human being, as soon as they get that debuff, throws a heavy attack at their feet. No more problems in the world. Takes half a second. It takes a second and a half, but in terms of the state of the game in 1v1 duels, I'm very concerned for how Paladin builds are still going to work and function. I know that it was bugged in open beta with how it wasn't getting the 20% nerf that it was supposed to get. So maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it's not going to be as bad as I think it will be. Maybe Rapier players will be able to cut through it faster than I think they will be able to be. How long does a knockdown last for compared to a stun? I feel like it depends on the knockdown, but typically I think it's around a second and a half to 2 seconds. I actually never timed it, if I'm being honest, though. Around a second and a half to 2 seconds would be off the top of my head my guess, but I never put a timer on the knockdowns, and I probably should have. So yeah, going into the game, guys, it's honestly as simple as every single weapon, very viable, has its strengths, has its weaknesses, play to the kits well, and you can make every single weapon work. I promise you that. I guarantee you that. When fighting a Great Axe Hatchet Heavy Armor player, and I'm saying this because I know that was the talk of the town in open beta, the weakness that it has is it's not actually the best when somebody turns and fights it. There are a lot of weapon combos out there that out-trade it very easily. It chases you very well, though, so if you turn your back, you're screwed. That's what it does. So it's going to lock you down. It's going to make you fight it. You need to turn, you need to block things, and you need to dodge things, and you need to out-trade it using a spear, a warhammer, sword and shield, those other melee weapons that don't really have great gap close, but that perform really well with interrupts, staggers, and knockdowns, knockbacks, all that fun stuff, right? You guys know what to do with that. When you're fighting a ranged carry, you have a bow player, a musket player, a fire staff user, an ice gauntlet. The counters inherently just in the game are Great Axe Hatchet, right? It's Like, Great Axe Hatchet is designed to have an advantage over and try and beat ranged carries. Ranged carries, bow, musket, fire staff, ice gauntlet, are designed to kind of destroy double melees that are not the Great Axe Hatchet, right? Sword and shield, spear, rapier, hatchet. I'm gonna say hatchet because it's really the Great Axe that makes the chase possible. Right, all your melee weapons, all those combos right there, those just don't have the gap close ability to get to good kiting ranged carries. So I actually do really like the trifecta that's going on in the game right now, where you kind of have the Great Axe Hatchet builds that counter the ranged. You have the ranged that counter the double melees that essentially aren't Great Axe Hatchet, and then you have the double melees that aren't Great Axe Hatchet that can just straight up out trade Great Axe Hatchet players. When played properly, right? Everything I just said is when played really properly, and when you get to see people playing at these at a higher level, really knowing their classes, every single one of these fights is super close. So yeah, going into, by the way, thank you so much, Mr. Arthos and Waffles Slaps. I agree. I like waffles more than pancakes. I really like the state of weapons going into New World right now. I really do. I think it's awesome. The only thing I will say, and just kind of keep your eyes on this, and we're gonna be something I'm gonna be watching moving forward, is the Great Axe has an ability called Gravity Well. Gravity Well is currently the absolute hands down best go button to start a fight. Nothing initiates like a Gravity Well, especially when we're talking about group content and group play, right? If you think like a 5v5, 10v10, 20v20, whatever you want to call it, right? Gravity Well is the initiation, it is the setup, and there's currently nothing in the game that does it as well. There's actually nothing close that does it as well. There are things that can follow up on it relatively well, but I'm going to be interested when we move forward into Turnum to see when other weapons get added, when other things come to the game. Can other things start to contest that Gravity Well ability for a good initiation go button? Because otherwise, and I'm going to just throw this out there for those that are kind of maybe company leaders or people that are interested in bigger scaled PvP, you want your best playmakers on Gravity Well, right? They're the initiation. They're the setup for your team. So if you got a smart person, hitting the go button, more times than not, those are going to be good fights for you then. If you have someone with brain problems like me, doing it, then good luck. All right, guys, it is 2:30 in the morning. I need to go get some sleep before I grind New World all day on NA West. That has been the full rundown of the entire patch notes. TLDR, literally nothing has changed. I mean, nothing of consequence, at least in my opinion, has changed. So that's going to wrap up the video. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.